All right, what's up, guys? Embrace the suck, day 8. I don't know how much I'm embracing the suck today, but what I did want to talk about is over this past week of pushing myself to step outside of my comfort zone, I feel like I've almost developed a new habit and a new discipline, because if I'm not doing a little something each day now to be uncomfortable, I almost don't feel right? So that's the great thing about habits, is once you develop them and you develop the small habits, those turn into larger habits. And what it made me think of is, well, I ran little over 3 miles yesterday. I haven't ran over 3 miles in probably like 4, 5, 6 years, something like that. So doing that within a week was actually pretty motivating and inspiring for me to continue to push through. And it really does come down to discipline and making sure that you're doing the small things right every single day, and then they do build up, and actually they might build up faster than you thought. Because the first day when I did like 1.5 miles, and that really hurt, to be a week later doing 3 miles, that's pretty crazy. You know what, it was still interesting though, even though I did 3 miles total, after about 1.5 miles is when it still started really kicking in and really started to suck. And then from 1.5 miles to 2.5 miles, that's when I really wanted to quit the whole time, and it became 100% a mental exercise for me to continue pushing through. And then once I got to 2.5 miles, I actually almost got like a second wind, as they say. And that last half a mile, I pushed myself really hard, and I actually turned up the heat and I turned up the speed, and it actually was easier to get that last half a mile than it was either the first 1.5 or even the second mile that I did. So that's what's really interesting. Something else I wanted to share with you today is I heard somebody say something, and it really did, I felt it, right? So sometimes people just say things and you hear them at the right time and you feel it. And what he said was, discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs a ton, right? So discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs a ton. So what I'm talking about here really at the end of the day with this Embrace the Suck is the discipline, right? Small little pieces of discipline that I'm adding up, and I'm pushing a little bit more each day. And by taking those things in little bits and pieces, they're adding up to be something that is actually becoming substantial. Within a week, for me to run 3 miles, and for me to go to a networking event, for me to do these things that are just really uncomfortable, at the end of the day, it's been 7 days, right? That there's already been a few of these things. So the way I see it is, well, what's going to happen in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, in 4 weeks, in 5 weeks, in 1 year, in 5 years. So I think these little things that add up to something very big are really going to help release and eliminate that weight of the regret that I would maybe feel in a few years if I kept gaining weight, if I kept staying unhealthy, and then maybe I had some sort of health scare. I actually had a health scare at about 20 years old. I had a kidney stone because I would not drink enough water, I wasn't doing enough exercise, and I was drinking a bunch of like milk and soda. And if you don't know, soda has like potassium and I think calcium in it. And if you drink too much of that and not enough water, and then add on top of that milk, you can actually develop like little calcium deposits and little rocks which turn into kidney stones. Worst pain ever. The doctor said that's probably the closest thing I'm going to experience as a male to giving birth. But what that did is inspire me to, again, start getting healthy, drinking more water, exercising, and things like that. And now, what's it been, 18 years later or so, I still consistently exercise. I'm exercising multiple times a week. That's never been an issue. But pushing it to the next level and doing the cardio, because cardio for me, again, it sucks, right? And one thing I didn't realize is, like, say yesterday after 3 miles, I woke up today, had the sorest feet and legs that I've had in a really long time, and that really hurt. But the solution to fixing that was actually getting up and moving and doing a nice big walk today. And I took Duke. This is Duke here. Duke, say hi, bro. Say what's up. But I took him out today, and we did like 1.5 miles or so, just a light walk, or a little jog, I could say. But that doing more of what I didn't want to do is actually what took the pain away from putting in the extra effort to doing that extra cardio. So sometimes the more we do the things we don't want to do, the better they are for us. And even if we're sore from pushing ourselves in a certain area, by doing more of that thing, it's going to get easier. It's going to make you feel better. So that's all I have for you today. Going to keep it up. We're going to Mexico. We're going to be in Mexico City for the Christmas holiday. So maybe we'll have some interesting videos from running around the town down in Mexico City. I've never been there before. I've been to Cabo and Tijuana, and that's about it. So it should be a lot of fun. But if you guys are out there and you're on the border of trying something new, what I do know is if all you have to do is take that first step and commit to it. And once you commit and take the first step, even if it's like a small portion of what you really want to accomplish, it will add up. And before you know it, even over a short period of time, you may push yourself further than you thought. And that's what the whole point of this exercise is. All right, guys, have a good one. Talk to you next time and make it a great week.